Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at some hip mobilisations. So we're going to go through 3 exercises. In the first one we're going to be looking at a muscle called your tensor fascia lata. So to find it, what you do, come into the crease of your hips, okay, find the bone on the front and then come out just a little further out, and it's usually a muscle that feels quite tight. So what we're going to be doing is doing some rolling with a trigger point ball. So this ball is relatively firm, okay, and that allows us to get into the muscle. So this is a self-massage technique. Okay, to demonstrate it to you, again, that's where that muscle is. We come just onto your front, and we're going to apply a little bit of pressure. So you might find that's plenty. You might just want to hold, or if you want to, what you want to do is just control the amount of weight going through it, because it is a tender area. You might want to roll backwards, forwards and backwards, up and down, or just little circles, just to work into this area, finding any sort of tender spots. Okay, so I'm using my leg, I'm using my arm just to control the pressure. You might find you're happy to put lots and lots of pressure on it. You might find just a little is enough. Okay, so what does what that does is it releases some of the tension in the muscle. So the second exercise we're going to do is to work to increase the range of the hip. Okay, so we're going to come into a seated position, and where we've opened up this muscle, we're going to have more range. But we need to actively use it as well. So we're going to be dropping the hip in, and we're going to really work to try and bring the knee down towards the floor. Okay, so this is called internal rotation of the hip, because the hip is dropping in towards the midline. Okay, and it's an active hold, so you're really trying to work it inwards. Okay, and obviously if you've rolled the other side, then you'd work to drop this one in. So you're trying to keep the sit bones on the floor. You're not, that's a cheat, unfortunately. I don't have that much range in my hips, but working to kind of get that hip inwards, that internal rotation is a really important part of our normal walking gait and our running gait. Okay, third exercise we're going to look at is the hip flexor mobilisation. So I've put this one in the low back one, but it's equally important for mobile hips. What we do is we come into a half kneel. Okay, so what we do is we engage the glutes, so we're squeezing those glutes nice and tight. Okay, and then what we're going to be doing is gently just rocking into that hip. It's not a big movement, so if you release the buttocks, you'll be able to go way further. But what we're trying to do is actually stretch the local muscle here. So squeezing the buttocks and gently rocking into the hip forwards. Okay. Again, to kind of increase the intensity, what you can do is bring the arms up and look up, and carry on rocking. If you want to, you can also hold. Okay. So those are your 3 exercises for hip mobility.